What up, guys? Today on Strapback I'm going to be doing a hatchet restoration, and I just kind of wanted to show you the before and after of this and some of the process. So this is my friend Chris's, and he's going to go camping this weekend, so I'm going to, well, first of all, making it obviously sharp, and then probably taking it to a back here with a nice convex grind that'll just sort of sweep down over it, make it look prettier, make it cut better, less friction, all that good stuff. So my tool of choice for doing this kind of thing is my 1x30" belt sander from Harbor Freight. Just cautioning you guys, if you're not very experienced with power tools, get a lot of practice, and you know, because you can burn the temper out of these things pretty easily. That mostly only happens if you don't have fresh belts. So I got this is a coarse Scotch-Brite belt. I cannot produce heat with these, like even when they're dull. So they're really great for thin edges, like Scandi grinds, like a Mora. You know, beautiful edge. This blade finish on here was done with a fine Scotch-Brite. This is not factory. This whole knife I did. So creates a nice result, creates a hair whittling sharp edge, and when they are super thin like that, it doesn't burn them. The stuff you do got to worry about though is your traditional sanding belts. Now when you have your axe against this back plate right here and you're applying against it, that's when you're going to start getting a lot of friction. Usually up here, which is what I do for the Convex, when it'll fold and roll over your edge. So as you know, apply pressure, I'll just try to get that just right, it's going to fold to the shape like this. So they're kind of spendy. Amazon, I was forced to buy 10 of them for 9. You know, it is what it is. I'm trying to use them on some of this stuff. Next up, I'll do a shovel and some other tools. Then I'm going to do a draw knife. But for now, we're just going to start with the hatchet restoration. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here. Always remember hearing protection and, of course, safety glasses. So here we go. All right, so when you're getting your belt set up, I just do a few passes to make sure that when I turn it on, it's actually going to stay on. I had a couple just sort of harmlessly pop up here and there. So I'm going to start off with the 40 grit. Now this is a worn out belt. I'm going to be real careful with it and watch it really closely. You know your belt's worn out if it's just not super sharp when you touch it, but if you got a lot of colors on it. This one has got some streaks down the middle from wood that's sort of brown, but it still feels sharp when I touch it, so I'm going to try it out. So I've got my headphones on, and I got my safety glasses on, so we're going to go ahead and make some sparks. I have absolutely no idea if that was ear cancer or not. I sincerely apologize. But usually when I'm not on headphones, this will not pick up anything. Alright, so this is the shape of it. Is right. Okay, I put a little bit of an edge on there, but it's not sharpening right now with the 40 grit. I just want to get close so that, again, you know, I don't burn that edge right now. That's a thick amount of material. Not worried about it. There's a little towards the tip that I'm going to keep going. But this down here is already burred over, so I'm going to stay away from that. But I'm pretty much just wanting to shape my bevel and give it just a nice convex grind to it. My buddy I'm sharpening this for, you know, I'm not going to charge him for this because he's just always been there for me. He's always let me stay at his house, like when I was in college and stuff. And he's my one guy. I know on a whim I can say, hey, let's go fishing, and he'll be there. So I just like sharpening for people who just enjoy having sharp things. So anyway, I'm going to continue on this. So that's about as thin as I'm comfortable with going with regular paper. That's hot. Now we'll move on to my extremely well broken in coarse Scotch-Brite. Here's a comparison with the worn and the brand new. This stuff cuts really fast when it's new. Like, it's kind of crazy. But this one that is worn out is good for sharpening. So, they're a bugger to break in, to be honest with you. You gotta like loosen the action on your sander really good, turn it on, and then you slowly let it tighten itself, or else it just can't start at all. So if you get these and they don't work, they will eventually. They just need to break in. Alright, checking my time, 7 minutes. Alright, well, of this particular start that I started with the record button because it shut off on me earlier. This is the Scotch-Brite edge here for coarse, and I got a burr down the whole edge. I'm just going to throw on my fine because I'm really going to do just unnecessarily nice for this one. This would be fine as is. Just got to deburr it a little, and it is sharp. But just sharp is not good enough for the strap back channel. This is the fun one. I love this. This is what I use for sharpening my Mora. And whenever you get that thing dull, you just throw it on here, which makes it my perfect kitchen knife. And the last step is the buffing. So, real quick, just get some of these not too bad scratches out, and then the buffer. So you always want to do a super light pass right before the buffer. You don't want to strip the heck out of your felt wheel, unless you do want to, then don't do that. It's hard to keep a convex with that one light pass, but on a worn out fine thing, you know, it doesn't change the shape of it too much. It's still convex. I'm going to pop over to the buffing wheel right quick, and I will come back for a brief paper test. Okie doke. So I use a little bit of green chrome on that. That was just a stropping. That wasn't really a full polishing. If I wanted to remove all of the scratches, of course I could. But now, just to give you an idea of the difference in this axe. So on the flat of the paper, not the edge of it, can still start a cut really easy. I can't see my camera at the same time to know if you guys can see that. And there, okay. But, you know, just stupid sharp. And now when I maintain this, all I gotta do is this fine or just the buffer. So there you have a nice, thin, polished edge. And the sander was 50, the belts are like 10. The buffer was maybe 35 or 50. The stropping polishing compound's like $10, but it'll last you for several generations. So there's how I sharpen an axe and hatchets, garden tools. So yep, I hope you guys found this enjoyable and it helped you out. Have a good one.